Hey folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. So glad to be with us today. If you've listened to the news, and there's a lot of news going on lately, it's almost news overload, you'll notice that there's a new strain of COVID that's out there. It started in England from what we think, and then we found it in a couple other places. Now we think it's here in the United States. And there's two problems. Well, one problem is that supposedly it's more contagious. Now we're really not sure because it's only been found a couple of weeks ago, if that. Supposedly it's no more infectious. It's just more contagious. So what does that mean? Well, we don't know. Now, a lot of people are coming to me and saying, Dr. Joe, there's a problem. There are no cases of flu, no people getting the cold anymore. Everybody's getting COVID. Why is nobody getting colds and flu anymore? So I had to dig into this because I wasn't sure myself. And what I think is happening is we're doing all the things we're supposed to do to stay clean. You know, we're social distancing, washing our hands, people are more aware of their immune system. We're seeing a huge increase in people showing interest in their health, which makes me very excited. We're seeing a lot of people getting supplements coming in for care in our offices, people sending me questions about their health. So I'm really excited about that. If there's such a thing as a silver lining in this whole COVID mess, is that people are finally taking responsibility. The explanation I've heard is that well, yeah, we have less cold and flu because cold and flu is less contagious than COVID. So even though we're doing all these things to protect ourselves, COVID is still getting through and getting into our bodies. Cold and flu, not so much because social distancing, washing our hands, masks are supposed to help that. So that's the explanation, that's the official explanation that the CDC is putting out. I hope it's right. I don't know if it's right or not, actually. I don't know if it's hope. If I say hope it's right, I don't know if it's right or not. It's logical, but why is COVID so contagious, I guess, is the big question then. So that leads us to the show topic today. Why are certain things so contagious and they affect some people more than others? And that's a question I get too. Well, Dr. Joe, I work and 5 people I work with had COVID and I didn't get anything. And one of the guys I work with at the radio station, as a matter of fact, thinks he had it. He hasn't been tested for antibodies a long time ago because he was surrounded by people with it. He got a little scratchy throat, lost his sense of smell for half a day, and then it was gone. So why is it affecting some people more than others? Well, some people just have genetically better immune systems. Some people are just better at it. Like I haven't got the flu in, I don't know, I was probably 7 years old. I remember being a kid and having the flu. Haven't gotten it since then. Well, I take care of myself. I eat right. I take supplements. So I also may have a good genetic predisposition. My mother's got amazing genetics. So there could be a genetic predisposition. It could be other things, though, too. So if you don't have the blessing of good genetics, and maybe you do, you don't even know if you do or not, because this is something new, there are other things that are happening. And one of the big things, it's a compelling report, it's a Journal of Gastroenterology, and it's a radical, novel idea, but I liked it because it was radical. Logically sound explanation as to why some COVID patients develop life-threatening organ failure and some COVID patients don't. So whether you get it or not is one thing, but whether you die from it or not is the big question. And the data indicates that COVID-19 mortality rates are heavily influenced by the amount of unsaturated fat you eat. Now, you've heard the saturated fat, and it's the way the chemical bonds are. It's saturated with hydrogen or unsaturated, it's polyunsaturated. But the less hydrogen bonding there is, the less saturation of hydrogen there is, makes it a unsaturated fat. Now, if you know what unsaturated fats are, those are vegetable fats. And we've heard that vegetable fats are good. Now, wait a minute, this new study out saying unsaturated fats are bad. Confused? Nope, I get confused too. Believe me, it takes me a lot of research to iron this stuff out for you guys. So simply put, certain unsaturated fat intake is associated with increased mortality from infection. So it doesn't really say if you're going to get more likely to get the infection or not. It's saying if you're going to die from the infection or not. Now, there are no clinical studies done on this yet, but it's probably time we do one. Because I like this philosophy, I like this concept where it's going, because it fits into everything I've been teaching you guys for the past 40 years. There is research showing that the primary disease maker in the Western diet, what we eat as Americans, is something called omega-6 fatty acids. Now, if you've listened to my shows before, I talk a lot about fats. And there's omega-3 fatty acids, which are really good. And they help the brain function, they help the immune system, they help with inflammation. I take an omega-3 supplement every single day. I take Dr. Joe's vegan omega-3. It comes from algae. It's the purest form on the market as far as I know. And it's the one I take. It's one I recommend you take too. It's on our website, drjoe.com. So you just go to the website and you can get it there. Omega-6 fatty acids are inflammatory. Now, you need a little bit of omega-6 fatty acids. You only need a little bit of omega-3s as well. But you need a little bit, but not too much. The problem is when you get too much in it. And diet-related comorbidities, make sure you understand this sentence. Diet-related comorbidities are responsible for 94% of all COVID-19 related deaths. Diet-related comorbidities, the things that you're doing, that food that you're putting in your body is responsible for 94% of the COVID-related deaths. Now, if I had a pill that I can give you, they're trying to come out with pills, or vaccines anyway, and they say, okay, if you take this, we're going to reduce your risk of dying by 94%. You think everybody jump on board? Well, that's what they're exactly saying. 95% is their success rate now, or a little higher with the vaccine, supposedly. So we have something that's as effective as supposedly a vaccine is going to be, absolutely free, no side effects. It's your diet. So why isn't everybody going nuts on this? Well, I am, of course. 94% of all COVID-related deaths are diet-related comorbidities. So what you're putting in your body is going to determine how bad this thing gets for you. Taking control of your diet is simple, common sense strategy to lower your risks of all disease and lower your risk of all comorbidities. Now, if you don't know what a comorbidity is, I guess I should back up a little bit. If I have diabetes, that's my primary issue. If I'm overweight, that's a comorbidity. Another thing that I have wrong that's going to make the first problem worse. If I have heart disease, if I have diabetes, if I'm overweight, if I have allergic reactions, if I have colitis, Crohn's disease, autoimmune diseases, each one of those is a comorbidity to the other one. So 94% of deaths are related to food, diet-related comorbidities, which means you have the answer to solving this problem. You do. I don't. You do. What you put in your body is going to have a direct correlation. Now, linoleic acid, omega-6 fatty acids, makes up the bulk, about 90% of the omega-6 fatty acids consumed, and is a primary contributor to nearly all chronic diseases. So 90% of all the omega-6 fatty acids, there's different types of omega-6s. 90% of the intake is from linoleic acid. It's an essential fat. When consumed in excess, it becomes metabolic poison. So the reason for this is because polyunsaturated fats like linoleic acid are highly susceptible to what's called oxidation. And so oxidation means they break down. I'll try to keep it simple for you. And it breaks down into different things like advanced lipid oxidation end products and oxidized linoleic acid metabolites. Don't worry about the chemistry here. One of those breakdowns, one of these what's called a metabolite is called ALE. And this is known to cause DNA damage. Now, DNA is the part of your cell that replicates. It's the reason you're you, and it can damage DNA. Studies show that there's a definite correlation between elevated levels of this 4-HNE and heart failure. So unsaturated fats oxidize, they go bad. When they go bad, they produce these metabolites or these byproducts, and these byproducts are highly toxic to the body. It's really what it boils down to. Now, you've heard me talk a lot about excess sugar. This is bad for you. I recommend you don't do any more than 25 grams of excess sugar a day. 25 grams is not a lot. It's only like 2 or 3 pieces of fruit. So you don't want to put a whole lot of sugar into your body. But even with all the sugar we're eating, it doesn't cause a fraction of the oxidative damage that linoleic acid does. And again, 90% of your unsaturated fats, your omega-6 fatty acids, are linoleic acid. Wow. Isn't that crazy? So processed vegetable oils are the primary source. And where do we get vegetable oils from? Well, how many people use peanut oil? That's an omega-6 fatty acid. Very cheap. Mixed vegetable oil, corn oil, soy oil, loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. And that increases the risk of oxidation. And the oxidation causes metabolites. Metabolites can cause disease and damage to your DNA. And you're doing this stuff every single day.
Aren't all the healthy potato chips made with peanut oil?
Yeah, the healthy potato chips, I know, right? Yeah, Garrett's a wise guy over there. Yeah, the healthy potato chips, the healthy foods made with peanut oil, loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, and they oxidize. One of the worst things you could put in your body is bad oil. So let's assume you like peanuts. You shouldn't eat peanuts, by the way, for many reasons. But let's assume you like peanuts, walnuts, cashews, pistachios, peanut butter, and you taste it, and it tastes bad. We've done that before, right, Garrett? You've had bad peanuts, oil, whatever it is, and it doesn't taste right. Throw it away. It's oxidized. It's one of the most dangerous things you could put in your body. And yet everybody's talking about sugar and cigarette smoke and artificial sweeteners and meats and dairy products. All that's bad, but this is also bad, and nobody seems to worry about that. How many of you right now, if I went into your pantry, how many of you have bottles of corn oil or soybean oil or vegetable oil sitting in there for years, decades? I bet you do. Garrett's nodding his head yes. I bet you do. And so what's happening is these bad oils are oxidized and they're weakening the immune system, and that causes problems. Now, I've talked in the past about omega-3, omega-6 ratios. Now, you should have about one omega-3 molecule to one omega-6 molecule in your diet. Very few people have that. You can go as high as one omega-3 to 4 omega-6s. You're still in the safe zone. Most people are one omega-3 to 20 or 30 omega-6 fatty acids. But it's not just a ratio. So if I eat a lot of omega-6s and eat a lot of omega-3s, I'm still getting a lot of omega-6s. We really need to reduce the omega-6 fatty acids. Those vegetable oils, the corn, the soy, got to cut those out, folks. The peanut. Those are the things that cause damage. Anything processed, unless it's really a healthy food, look at the label. Chances are it's going to have peanut oil, soybean oil, corn oil, vegetable oil, hydrogenated oil, which even makes it worse. So you got to look at what's going on in the body. And you got to look at the types of oils you're putting in there, because that is just weakening your immune system like crazy. Now, yes, you should take vitamin D. Absolutely. I take Dr. Joe's vitamin D every single day. I take 5 drops a day. The other day, I was really tired. I couldn't sleep one night. I just did a show, a late night show, and I was wired. It was a good show. I was on fire. And I got home and I laid in bed. I couldn't sleep. So I woke up, had to go to work. I was tired. And so I got a little, little scratch in my throat. And I thought, uh-oh. Now, it could be because I just did a long show. It could be I talked too much. It could be I didn't drink enough water that day. So I doubled up on my vitamin D. I doubled up on my glutathione. Glutathione is another supplement I recommend for the immune system. I took a double dose of Super Greens and Essential Source, and I sucked on 2 zinc lozenges. Within hours, my throat was fine. So whatever it was, whether it was an infection or not, I have no idea. But whatever it was, I was fine.
Same thing happened to me yesterday.
Oh, what happened to you?
I went out of town for a funeral and came home feeling way overdone. My ears were ringing, started to hurt, which is usually a sign for me. Neck started to hurt. Came into work and kind of got like somewhat of a cold sweat almost, and started feeling bad. So I let everybody know, stay away from me. I did 50,000 IUs of vitamin D. I did another 25,000 this morning. I did 3 doses throughout the day of Essential Source. I took our immunobiotic, B12 or B complex, and then I did take one decongestant, and I feel great.
There you go. It was gone. Yeah.
Woke up like nothing happened.
Yeah, so what Garrett's saying, what I'm saying is, we're going to have moments. Now, whether Garrett was sick, whether I was sick, I don't know. But you want to be proactive when it comes to these things. I'm not saying I have a cure for COVID or cure for anything. I'm just saying what I do, what Garrett does, and how quickly you start to see results. In most cases, the quicker you get it, the better it is. Now, we're a team of chiropractic and medical professionals. So we are very good at neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, headaches. Our medical profession is very good. Our medical doctor is very good at things like PRP. PRP is we take your platelets out of your blood, spin them down, and that's the growth factors, re-inject it back into your body. And those platelets can stimulate new growth. And so very good for arthritis, very good for pain management, torn muscles, bicep tendon, any type of tendon, trigger point therapy, but it's also good for things like erectile dysfunction. You can kind of generate new life, new cells. Hair growth, spotty hair growth, you can do PRP injections. Women that have urine leakage, you can do it for that as well, tighten up the muscles in that area. So there's a lot of things that PRP can do, and chiropractic, and digestive issues. Every show I talk about digestive issues, and every day patients come to our office and say, Dr. Joe, you said something about adjusting the stomach, pulling it down away from the diaphragm so that I get rid of the acid reflux and the heartburn and the burping and the gas and the bloating. Yeah. We do it all day, every day, and the results usually are phenomenal. Nutrition, supplements. So we are truly a wellness center. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. So the quicker you get to see us, if you have a health issue, the better off you're going to be, just like Garrett and I just talked about. If you have a little symptom, there's a protocol to follow. And so if I have a little symptom, I know this is what I need to do. We have a laser now. Laser light can stimulate what's called mitochondrial growth. And the mitochondria are part of the cells that help produce energy, so it can be used for pain. It can be used for sciatica, neuropathy. You can go right through the skull and stimulate brain mitochondrial function. So people with traumatic brain injuries, headaches, we're seeing amazing results. Old injuries, old injuries, 20, 30, 40 years old. The laser can get in there and start to stimulate mitochondrial growth. So we do a lot of different things to help get patients well. And so the quicker you get to us, the easier it's going to be to deal with. So if you have a health issue, you can always go to our website, drjoe, drjoe.com. You can book an appointment right online. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. You can call us if you want to. The phone number's on the website. And we're more than happy to set up an appointment and talk to you and try to find out what it is that's causing the problem, not just treating the symptoms. Usually the first visit is $375. Garrett's convinced us to keep it at $199, and we're going to keep it at $199. That's an exam, x-rays, consultation, first adjustment, the second visit going over your x-rays, and doing a whole nutrition workup. Nutrition workup alone is $150. So if you want to make an appointment, please do it right away. We can't run that special forever, of course. And folks, if you come in for your first visit, understand you have to come back for your second visit. It's included. The going over the x-rays and the nutritional evaluation is included. You have to do that. Otherwise, you're totally wasting your time and your money. Don't even bother coming in, because you need to come in to see those x-rays and explain what it is. You're probably going to need further care from there. And we accept almost all insurances, car accidents, sports injuries. If you're ever in a car accident, if the car was damaged, you were damaged 100% of the time. I don't care. The insurance company says, oh, it was a minor injury, the car wasn't damaged. You were hurt. Well, in my case, I've never seen it ever in 35, 40 years of seeing car accident cases. I've never seen somebody walk away from a car accident unhurt if the car was damaged. So you need to make an appointment right away. The quicker you get to us, the better you're going to be. So, and also when it comes to pain and injuries, we do try to get our patients off the omega-6 fatty acids or try to reduce it to a minimal because it causes inflammation. And of course, as your chiropractor, as your pain management doctor, as I'm a chiropractic orthopedist as well, I'm board certified in nutrition as well. As your doctor, my team of doctors want to get you well as quickly as possible. So it's not just chiropractic, it's not just medicine, it's not just nutrition, it's not just supplements, it's everything. And that's what we find works best. And if something worked better, I'd be doing it because I'm a patient too. Garrett's a patient. We want to get the best results as quickly as possible. So cutting back on your omega-6 fatty acids is going to be really important. And it's also now proving that it has a direct impact on people with COVID. Well, studies are showing. I can't say proving. Studies are showing. How about that? So back to that paper. Getting back to the paper, fat intake and how it affects your COVID outcome. The gastroenterology paper points out that unsaturated fats cause injury and organ failure resembling COVID-19. More specifically, unsaturated fats are known to trigger lipotoxic acute pancreatitis and sepsis and multiple system organ failure, just like it is seen in severe COVID-19 patients. So you're getting a similar reaction here. Now, let's play devil's advocate for a second. Let's assume I'm wrong. Let's assume that omega-6 fatty acids and hydrogenated oils have no effect whatsoever on COVID. So what? We know it has effect on other things. So my submission in this new world that we're living in is do everything you can to keep your immune system as healthy as possible. If you start doing things and cheating, you're really running a high risk. So whether it's COVID, cold, flu, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, brain function, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, you still want to take care of your nervous system, you want to take care of your digestive system, and you want to take care of your diet. I can't imagine a day going by without me eating something raw at every meal. In fact, just before I went on the air, I had some snap peas. I can't imagine not taking supplements. And I recommend you minimum take Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source, and Dr. Joe's Vitamin D. That's the minimum supplements you should be taking, especially in this world. I take omega-3 fatty acids, I take digestive enzymes, I take B-complex, I take adrenal support, I take male hormone support, I take estrogen regulator. Estrogen regulator helps prevent my testosterone from converting into estrogen. Male hormone support helps build my testosterone levels up, because as you get older, testosterone levels drop. And every day, my practice, we have 4 practices, Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. People come in, especially men, and say, Dr. Joe, I'm having trouble in the bedroom. That's average. It's not normal. It happens to all men. Your testosterone levels drop. It is what it is. But we can do things to keep those testosterone levels up, keep the immune system functioning as well as we can as well. And the same protocols apply. That's what's so cool about this. So ideally, cooking with oil is not a good idea. If you're going to cook with oil, use as little as possible. Deep frying foods, not a good idea. I have to say I've become a fan of, for a lot of folks, for air fryers. Because air fryers still create acrylamides when fats are heated, like potatoes and oil, but you're using much less oil, so you have much less damage. So instead of deep frying things, I'm hoping the world starts going more toward an air fry concept. It's not ideal. It's not perfect in any way, shape, or form, but it's a lot less damaging than deep frying foods. So the less oil you use, the better off you're going to be. And nuts and seeds, they have omega-6 fatty acids in them. You can use these, though, because they have natural antioxidants in them, they have fiber in them, so it's not as bad as the processed oil. Because oil, once it becomes an oil, is processed. Coconut oil is no longer coconut, it's coconut oil, olive oil. So use minimum amounts. Use organic oils. Use fresh oils. If they start going bad, throw them out. And nuts and seeds, some are better than others. The ones with the lowest amount of omega-6 fatty acids, chia seed, almond, flaxseed, pistachio, hazelnuts, cashews, and the winner of all of it, macadamia nuts. So if you like macadamia nuts, which I do, they're amazing. And macadamia nuts also have omega-6 fatty acids in them, just like walnuts. So if I had to pick one nut that's going to be the winner of all of them for the best health benefits, it would probably be walnuts would be number one, macadamia nuts would be number two. But once again, folks, if they taste a little rancid, if they taste a little bitter, throw them away. If you just bought them at a store, bring them back. Because oils will go bad, and now we know that the unsaturated fats can oxidize, omega-6 fatty acids, oxidize, weaken the immune system, affect the organ function. There's no upside to eating excessive amounts of omega-6 fatty acids, and you cannot balance it out by taking more omega-3s. So omega-3 and omega-6 should be about 1-to-1 ratio. I take omega-3 fatty acids every day. Helps my brain, helps my inflammation, helps pain management. So we have that on our website, drjoe.com. We also have Super Greens and Essential Source are also on the website. Now, if you want supplements, and I can't imagine not taking supplements, but again, it's always your call. I've learned two things in my life. Don't argue with women, don't argue with patients. Because I've never won an argument either way. But when I can show patients, this is what I suggest. And most patients, 99% of our patients say, Dr. Joe, I'm here to do whatever you tell me to do. You're the expert. So every now and then some patient thinks they know more than I do. And I'll say, okay, that's great. I support your decision 100%. Inevitably, they come back and say, you know, Dr. Joe, you were right. Some people want to research things. Research it. Oh, I'm not lying to you, because these are the things that I do. And if there was a better way to take care of my health, I would be doing it, especially in times like this, where the immune system is everything. And you've got to keep that immune system strong. And why are some people dying and some not? Like we said in the beginning of this segment, some people it's genetics, but some things you have control over. You have control of bad food you put in your body: sugar, wheat, dairy, coffee, soda, artificial sweetener, breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, pastas. You have control of your nervous system in most cases. If you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, chiropractic is the #1 treatment for back pain. Most effective, least expensive treatment for most back pain. Not all, but most. If we need to, what we call escalation of care, we have a medical division in our Marietta office, and we can do PRP, we can do pain injections, we can do ablations, we can get medication for you if you need it. And then if we need to, it's been years since I referred somebody out for surgery. Sometimes you need surgery. I work with the best orthopedic and neurological surgeons I know in the world, and these are the people I refer to. We have life coaches on staff. So if you're having problems in your life, we have people that can counsel you as well. So folks, if you want to make an appointment, do it online, drjoe, drjoe.com, the website, drjoe.com. All the supplements are available online, or we can mail them to you or pick them up. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. When we come back, we're going to talk about other things that you're doing to mess up your immune system. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito, drjoe.com. We'll be right back. Hey folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. If you stayed with us, thank you. If you're just joining us, welcome. Glad you could spend a little time with us today. What we're talking about today is there's a new strain of COVID that's out, and you may have heard about it. And what we know so far, and again, this is really early on, and I may have to retract this statement someday, is that it's more contagious than the other strain of COVID, whatever that other strain is or was. But the effects of it, if you get it, are about the same. It's not more infectious, it's just more contagious. Now, I talked about this way back when COVID first came out, when it was a new word to everybody. And COVID-19 is a virus. Viruses do what viruses do. They mutate. They mutate so that they can stay alive. So bacteria do it. Plants do it. So when the environment changes, so we come up with an antibiotic, let's say, for a bacteria, and the bacteria starts to die off, it mutates. Nature mutates it so that it doesn't die off from that antibiotic anymore. So that's what's happening with the viruses. The viruses are getting stronger. They're learning. They're getting smarter, and so they mutate so that now we have different strains of this virus to keep the species alive. They're doing exactly what they should do in nature. We, on the other hand, have the opportunity to do things that can help fight them. And one thing we can do is keep our immune system strong. Now, the first part of the show, we talked about omega-6 fatty acids oxidizing and causing a lot of damage to the organs and can actually make COVID symptoms or mortality probably make it worse. Now, we know omega-6 fatty acids are bad because they cause inflammation. If they oxidize, if they go bad, that makes it worse still. If you heat them to a point where they can actually change their molecular structure, it's worse. So I really want you to stay away from vegetable oils. So that would be corn oil, soy oil, even coconut oil. If you heat it too much can be bad. Coconut oil is actually a mildly saturated fat, so it's low in omega-6 fatty acids. But olive oil is higher in omega-9 fatty acids, but it still has some omega-6s. But really just stay away from processed oils if you can, because processed oils are processed. We want to eat foods as whole as possible. However close to the way they were picked in nature, that's going to be best. So an olive, you can't eat an olive off a tree. I have a little olive bush at my house. I'm hoping it becomes a tree. And you can't eat them. You have to process them. You have to put them in brine. Now, that's a process. It's a mild process. Soak it in salt water. And then you can eat it. But then when you squeeze the oil out of it, that's more processing and concentrating those oils. And that's what I want you to stay away from. So there are other things that we're doing every single day that are weakening our immune system. So there's a lot of things we can do positive, a lot of things you can do negative. Lack of sleep. I just told a story in the first part of the show that the other day I did a late night show. It was great. I was really on fire, had a lot of great callers. We do live shows a lot too, and we get callers. And I was just on fire, couldn't get to sleep. So I had to wake up and go to work. I was really tired. And I had a little scratchy throat. Now I thought, uh-oh, am I getting sick? I don't know. So I took a double dose of vitamin D. I took a double dose of glutathione, double dose of Dr. Joe's Essential Source and Super Greens, double dose of B complex I think I took as well. And within hours, I was fine. So the point of that story was get to an issue as quickly as possible. Don't let things drag out. And that goes for your immune system. It goes for neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, car accidents. If you're in a car accident, folks, that day, once you're able to dial a phone, I want you to call our office and make an appointment, whether you have pain or not. Because many times things set in, and then the insurance companies will say, well, you didn't go to the doctor right away, so you weren't hurt. Well, I was in shock. I was in a coma. I mean, sometimes it gets that extreme. And then you want to get to us as quickly as possible for many, many, many reasons. Same thing with your immune system. When I was tired, I did everything I could to give my immune system a little boost. I was fine. So your body can't make as many infection-fighting cells and proteins called antibodies that help defend against the illness when you're tired. Your body releases certain types of proteins that help the immune system called cytokines only during sleep. So these cytokines that help the immune system only can be produced when you're sleeping. So if you're not getting enough sleep, you don't have enough time to produce these cytokines, the immune system gets weaker. Now, if you have trouble sleeping, go to our website, drjoe.com, and listen to the show we did on sleep. Just type in sleep in the search bar, hit enter, and the show should come up. Now, any topic you're looking for, I'm going to go off on a tangent here for a second. Whatever health issues you have, go to our website, drjoe.com, type in what you're looking for. Chances are we've done a radio show, we've done a blog, we've done audio, we've done a video, we've done an article on it, and you can get a lot of good information from it. If you can't find the answer that you're looking for on the website, drjoe.com, send us a message. You're going to see when you get on the website, a little bot pops up and says, hi, can we help you? Would you like to chat? Sometimes we're live. It's either me, Joe, or Garrett who are there, and we see it pop up right away, and we'll respond to you immediately. If we're not sitting at our computer, because, I don't know, we're doing things like seeing patients, just leave a message. We will get back to you as quickly as possible. Make sure you put in your right email address. Every now and then I send it back, and it bounces back to me because you didn't put in the right email address. So don't get mad at me if you messed up. So we will get you an answer. And if you need to make an appointment, you can do it right online. It says right next to my picture on the home page, it has appointments, or you can call us. The number's on everything. And we're more than happy to set you up an appointment to come see us. But don't wait. Don't wait too long. The longer you wait, the harder it is to fix things, so you probably want to come see us. So if you're having trouble sleeping, that's where the tangent I got off on, you could listen to the show we did on sleep, and if you still have questions, call us. This is a kicker. Anxiety and stress weaken your immune system. I had to stop watching the news, and I'm a news junkie. I love watching the news, because all it was politics, COVID, politics, COVID, politics, COVID. I got it. And I didn't want to hear everybody screaming at each other anymore. I want somebody to come out who's going to be a savior and say, all right, everybody take a breath, time out, back to your neutral corners, stop screaming at each other. And so I have to stop it. Now, I'm watching reruns of Futurama sometimes because there's nothing else I want to watch, but stress will get you. And I found that when I watched TV and I was hearing all this, I'm not saying, hide in a bubble somewhere, but in small doses. And so the stress will get you. So we're on lockdown. We're talking about another lockdown. Kids not learning from school. Kids not having socializing. People not being able to socialize. People not able to go out and be with their friends, their family, their boyfriends, their girlfriends. That's stress. This is a new world. And we, as humans, haven't evolved yet to get to be in this new world. And so that's very stressful. Stress weakens the immune system. Weakens the immune system, you're more likely to get sick. The more likely to get sick, the more stress you're going to have. So like Elvis Presley said, I'm caught in a trap. You're stuck. And so dealing with stress is going to be really, really important. Now, there's 3 types of stresses we have to address: chemical, physical, and emotional stress. Chemical stress is the easiest one to deal with. You have control of what you put in your body. And we said earlier, what was it, 94, 96% of all COVID-related deaths are nutritionally related. What you're putting in your body. 94% of all COVID-19 related deaths are diet-related comorbidities, meaning your diet has caused sicknesses and now your body is weaker when it's exposed to things like COVID-19. So we're trying to come up with a vaccine that's 95 or 98% effective, whatever the number is today, and yet we have something that you can do for free that's 94% effective. No side effects, no worries about is it going to make me fertile? Is it going to make me crazy? Is it going to affect my brain function? Is it going to affect my kid? No concern. It's actually going to help you by changing your diet. Just that simple. And yet, we keep talking about we have to get vaccines into everybody. Excuse me. We have to social distance. We have to isolate. We have to wear masks. We have to keep our kids away from each other. I was talking to one of my patients the other day, and she said she can't even play with her grandkids. She goes to visit them, and they social distance. They go outside, and she goes, nothing in my life has hurt me more than the fact I can't hug my own grandchild. And yet here we have a 94% success rate. We should do it. I do. I think you should too. But there's chemical stress, so you can decide what to eat. If you don't know what to eat, go to our website, drjoe.com, type in, so what can I eat? It's a whole hour lecture I gave you, breakfast, lunches, dinner, snacks, stocking your pantry, unstocking your pantry. The first book I ever wrote, called Eating Right for the Health of It, is a great guide on what to eat. First half of the book tells you how to change your diet. Second half is recipes. You don't know what to eat? There it is. Make all 220 recipes, whatever it is. And when you're done, pick out your favorites. It's just that simple. And everything in there is easy to make. It's anybody with no cooking skills. I bet you even Garrett could make every recipe in this book. That's how easy it is. Garrett's not a chef. He says that. That's self-proclaimed, so I'm not picking on him. So. I
make toast.
Toast? You good at it?
I'm great at that.
Both sides?
Yep.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. That's my job.
That's it. Sierra cooks everything else. Garrett cooks the toast. So, but really everything in that book, and I think Garrett will vouch for it, everything in that book is so easy to make. So if you don't know what to eat, we have the resources for you. And the website, we have over 1,500 hours of podcasts and blogs on the website. It's all free. You can download anything you want. If you're a listener, you can go to any of your podcast companies and type in Dr. Joe for the Health of It. That's the name of my book. It's also the first book. It's also the name of the podcast, Dr. Joe for the Health of It. And you could listen to hours and hours and hours of podcasts, and you'll never get sick of it because it's all fun information, me telling you what to do. So chemically is really easy. And supplement-wise, the minimum supplements everybody should be taking, in my opinion, is Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source, and Dr. Joe's Vitamin D. I take 5 drops of vitamin D a day. I can't imagine why you're not. It's the least expensive insurance policy I'll ever have. Now, I had somebody going back and forth with me in messaging saying that the vitamin D used up so quickly. She was taking dropper fulls. And I said, there's a difference between a dropper full and a drop. And she wasn't understanding this. And we kept going back and forth. And I said, 5 drops. She goes, I only take 2 dropper fulls. And it disappeared very quickly. Drops, not dropperfuls. Make sure we get that right. 5 drops a day. I take other supplements as well. I take adrenal support for stress. It helps control stress. Omega-3 fatty acids for inflammation, B complex, because your nervous system needs that. I take men's hormone support, which helps keep my testosterone levels up. I take estrogen regulator, which helps prevent my testosterone from converting into estrogen. So we customize a plan for all our patients of nutrition. So chemical stress is easy. Okay, we've got that under control. You can't prevent yourself from sitting behind a truck that's spewing out diesel fumes, but you can decide what goes in your body and what supplements you take. That's what you have control over. Physical stress. If you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, headaches, numbness, tingling, folks, most cases, that's a chiropractic case. Easy, quick. I don't know why chiropractic is not the portal of entry for every single back pain case in the world. And if it's not a chiropractic case, we could always do PRP for you. We have that available in our offices. PRP is we take your blood, take out the platelets, and put it back into the body, stimulate new growth and healing. It can be used for arthritis, knee arthritis, shoulder arthritis, wrist, spinal arthritis. It works amazing for arthritis. It works great for muscle tears, trigger points. We can even do headaches. Many times we'll respond to PRP. We can do nerve injections. We can inject the spine. We can do ablations, which is where you burn what's called a median nerve branch, and we burn that, and that's the one that feels the pain. Chemically burn it. It's not as bad as it seems. Now, the good news is that usually grows back. So some people say, well, that's bad, Dr. Joe, the pain comes back. No, no, no. Once we do that, we're able to do better chiropractic manipulations because you're not in so much pain, and in many cases, that's the combination you need. If you have acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating, you're not digesting your food properly. Many times we need to adjust or pull the stomach down away from the diaphragm. So we have a whole protocol to deal with the physical stress that your body's under. And then there's the mental stress. Now, the mental stress often comes from the chemical and physical stress. And once the body is healthier, it's able to better deal with the mental stress or the emotional stress. And so if you're in pain, you have a bad diet, and you have something go on emotionally in your life, a lot harder to deal with than if your body's healthy and something emotional goes on in your life. So anxiety and stress weakens the immune system, and that's what we're talking about today. And there's a lot of things you can do for that. In our office, we have a whole gamut of things that we can offer to you that'll hopefully work with you. So if you do want to make an appointment, you can do it right online, drjoe.com. You have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. You can call us. We take most insurances, car accidents, sports injuries. We file the insurance for you, Medicare. We're more than happy to do everything we possibly can to try to make you the healthiest you can be. And all the supplements we talk about, we can ship them to you, or you can pick them up in our offices, save yourself some shipping. Real simple way to save a few bucks. Low vitamin D, of course, is one of the simplest things you can do to keep the immune system strong. It's necessary for strong bones, blood cells. It helps boost your immune system. In the wintertime, we're not getting the sun. Even if you are out in the sun, the UVB rays that are hitting the earth are on an angle, so it's not producing the right amounts of vitamin D. UVB interacts with cholesterol in the skin. Cholesterol produces vitamin D. I take 5 drops of Dr. Joe's vitamin D a day. Again, that's a simple, easy, no-brainer, even if you're not willing to do anything else. I'm not going to change my diet. I'm not going to go see Dr. Joe for chiropractic care. I'm not going to get medical treatments if I need it. At least Super Green Essential Source and vitamin D, folks. Please, that's the minimum. Those are on the website. Certain medications. This is something nobody's talking about either. Certain medications, including things that treat allergies, arthritis, lupus, irritable bowel syndrome, organ transplant. What do? They weaken the immune system. Corticosteroids, for example. Inflammation inhibitors, chemotherapy for cancer. What do? Weaken the immune system. So talk to your doctor if you're taking prescriptions, or you could look it up yourself and find out if they have any effect on the immune system. If they do, you have to be more vigilant to keep the immune system strong. Another thing that you can do that's easy, cheap, and fun to do is eat more fruits and vegetables. Foods like fruits and vegetables help make more white blood cells, and you need those to fight off infections. Fresh produce and nuts and seeds are packed with zinc, beta-carotene, vitamins A, C, and E, and a lot of other nutrients that keep the body healthy. Plant-based foods are filled with fiber, and that helps lower your body fat percentage, which will strengthen your immune system. Fat will weaken the immune system. It's one of those comorbidities we talked about. I used to be fat. I know what it's like. I have stretch marks on my chest, stretch marks on my legs. I know what it's like to be fat, and I understand. So If you are overweight, go to our website, drjoe.com, for free, and listen to the shows we've done on weight loss. Just type in weight loss, hit enter. You have so much information. You have a library of information at drjoe.com that you can look up your specific issues, and we've probably done shows on it, or articles, or blogs, or posts. Utilize that information. Learn from that information. And it's funny because I've had many employees over the years, and they'll come in and I'll say, listen, I'm vegan, Garrett's vegan, Dr. Cat is vegan, nobody else is vegan. I don't care if you're vegan. I just care that you listen to the shows, listen to what we teach the patients, and then you decide. Inevitably, the staff starts taking supplements. They start eating better. They start making better choices because I lead as example. And that's the easiest way and the best thing you can do. People say, well, Dr. Joe, I live with somebody who's not going to change their diet. That's fine. They're not forcing food down your throat. You live by example. And when you live by example, I promise you, these people are going to start taking an interest. Really? That's interesting. Tell me more about that. It works real well. If you smoke pot, you probably shouldn't, especially now. This is not a moral judgment. This is a health judgment. It can inflame your lungs. And if you use it regularly, it has the same breathing problems that you get from smoking cigarettes. Same thing with vaping. Well, vaping is different. No, it is different. It's not better. It's just different. And we know that people that smoke vape or smoke pot, if they do get an infection, because COVID attacks the lungs, can make it a lot worse. And so if you smoke, stop. Is it hard to stop? Yes. But here's the thing with addiction. Go to our website, drjoe.com, listen to the show we did on addiction. And I talk about the neurophysiology of addiction, how it affects the brain, the dopamine receptor sites, the nucleus accumbens, and the things we can do to help fight addiction. I remember going to an AA meeting one time, and everybody there, almost everybody, was drinking coffee, diet soda, and cookies, and smoking. And I thought, okay, they exchanged one addiction with another. No, and I wanted to speak. They wouldn't let me speak because I wasn't an alcoholic, which I thought was stupid. But I find when people get their nutrition levels up, if they start taking supplements, super green, essential source, vitamin D, omega-3s, which are anti-inflammatory, when they get the nutrition levels up, the addiction gets easier to deal with. So that's really important, that you got to get those nutrition levels as high as you can within reason, and that's why we have the protocol of supplements. That's why we offer chiropractic care. Chiropractic care releases dopamine, releases endorphins in your body every time you get adjusted. So people say, oh, Dr. Joe, it was an amazing adjustment. I feel so good. Part of it was unpinching the nerves, but part of it was the brain releasing endorphins. Now, endorphins are painkillers that are 16 times more powerful than morphine. And so you're getting high from an adjustment. Now, you're not going to get stoned on it. You're not going to, get addicted to it. But you're getting this release of chemicals that make you feel good. Not only is it unpinching nerves and realigning joints, taking the stress off the joints, helping reduce arthritis, balancing muscles. There's a ton of benefits to chiropractic care, but one of it is usually feels good. Now, the nice part is if you come in our office, we have 6 doctors. Each doctor practices a little different technique. So you may say, well, Dr. Joe, I like your style. Well, I like Dr. Irwin's style. I like Dr. Pam's style, Dr. Kat's style, Dr. Amy's style, Dr. Martini's style. His name is Joe, too. That's why we call him Dr. Martini, not Dr. Joe. So we have 3 Joes in our corporation here. So everybody has a little different style, so it doesn't matter who you see. I want to go see Dr. Amy. Okay, great, go see her. She's wonderful. I want to see Dr. Pam. That's great. So it doesn't matter. You get to try different doctors out all in one place and decide what you like best. And that's what's nice about this. If you're eating a high-fat diet, fat hinders white blood cells. Fat will clump your blood cells together. And in fact, we can do this. I've seen this already, where we can take a blood sample of someone like me who's a vegan, and the blood flows very easily, very quickly. It's bright red. And then you take somebody who's a meat eater or eats the standard American diet, and their blood is thicker, darker. It has a viscosity to it. And if you let it settle, and I've seen this study done many times, you can actually see the fat rise to the top of people that have a high-fat diet. What that's going to do, it can upset the balance of bacteria in your colon, and about 80% of your immune system is in your colon with bacteria, and it's going to clump the blood cells together. So once again, we want to stay away from those high-fat diets. I'm not a fan of these high-protein, high-fat diets. They may have some benefits, but they have a lot of negative consequences as well. Another thing we can do to keep ourselves healthy with this new strain of COVID that's out, and we don't know what it's going to do, get outside. Go for a hike. Go take a hike. Get outside, do gardening, clean your house, wash your windows outside. Any chance you can, if it's comfortable weather, get outside. That alone, that activity is amazing to help build the immune system. because you're outside, you're getting sunlight. There's a benefit to being in nature. So just go out. Get a dog. Walk your dog. Walk Garrett's dog. He'll let you walk Maggie, I think. You can work that out as a deal. So get outside, and you're going to feel so much better. Again, if you smoke, stop. I don't know what else to say about that. Smoking is so dangerous on so many different levels, and now more than ever, smoking, vaping, pot, all these things are extremely dangerous. It's not a moral statement. It's a health statement.
And that turns into a negative feedback loop because you're doing these things, you're smoking cigarettes or weed or vaping to curb stress, but you're getting more stressed because you're ruining your adrenals, you're destroying your thyroid, and not able to handle the stress that comes after the fact,
right,
as well as you were before you indulged.
Yeah. It's silly. Another thing we can do to keep ourselves healthy, romance. Good news. Weekly intimacy seems to boost your immune system compared to those who have less intimacy. Trying to keep it clean here. Romance raises the level of germ-fighting substances called immunoglobulin A, or IgA. More is not always better. Sorry, folks. Couples who had relations more than twice a week didn't see a benefit to their immune system. But romance is something that can actually help build the immune system, which is very important and makes you feel good, too. And then it also helps, if it's a healthy relationship, can also help build that bond, which is also good for the immune system. So there's a lot of benefits here, and it's good exercise, too. And so we'll switch gears here. Alcohol, which may lead to romance. Overdoing it slows your body's immune system to fight germs for up to 24 hours. So if you're at a party and you're crowded and you're breathing everybody else's stinky bad breath and you're drinking, you weaken your immune system for up to 24 hours. Over time, drinking too much blunts your body's ability to repair itself. It lowers testosterone. There's a ton of negative side effects. If you go to our website, drjoe.com, and type in the word alcohol, we did a show on alcohol not long ago, 2 hours of nothing but alcohol. And we discuss all the benefits as well as the downside. And again, when I do these shows, if you're a regular listener, you know that. I talk about the benefits of things that aren't good for you because there are some good, but there's a lot of bad. So even smoking pot, you know, there's some benefits. There's cannabinoids in there. Cannabinoids affect the cannabinoid system, which can help control pain and stress, but it has downsides as well. Now, you can do hemp oil, which is not pot. Of course, it's hemp, but it's a cousin of pot. And we have a hemp oil on our website, drjoe.com, that helps the cannabinoid system, but it doesn't have any THC, and of course, you don't smoke it. Folks, I'm almost done with the show. If you have any questions, go to our website, drjoe.com. Send us the questions. If you want to make an appointment, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. Neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, digestive issues, medical treatments, spinal injections, ablations, PRP. Go to our website, drjoe.com. Click on the link, the tab on the top that says Services, and drop down. You'll see all the services that we offer. The supplements you talked about, again, minimum supplements, Super Green, Essential Source, and Vitamin D, all on the website, drjoe.com, or come pick them up. Save yourself some shipping. We have offices, again, Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. We want to be your doctor. We accept most insurances. The first visit is normally $375. We've reduced that to $199. Visits beyond that, most insurances we accept, car accidents, sports injuries. If you're ever in a car accident, if the car was damaged, you were damaged, come see us. drjoe.com. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. Tell your friends about the show. We'll catch you next time.